Welcome everybody to today's webinar. This is Collaboration is Required, how sales and marketing can work together to improve results. This is same business, same goals, and today we're going to be talking about how we can improve our ROI. First, a few administrative things. Please mute your microphone. If you've called in, simply mute your phone. And if you're on a desktop mic, hover over the bottom left of your screen, click on the microphone icon to mute. Second, we're so excited to have you on today, and we hope you'll join again. If you're unfamiliar with any of the terms that we're using today, please do let us know. We aim to make these educational webcasts as short and as useful as possible. There is a chat pane available in the video screen for any questions. You can also tweet us at Jewel Creative or use the hashtag LearnWithJewel, and we'll answer any questions that you have. First, I'd like to go ahead and introduce our presenters today. First, I'm Alicia Westfall, and I'm a strategist here at Jewel. I'm focused on bringing together research while publishing and with a publishing plan, particularly focused on targeted messaging via audience research for our clients. I really love discussing data and how our clients can make better sales and marketing decisions as a result. Jenna Engel is our other presenter today. Jenna, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Sure. Hey guys, I'm Jenna Engel. I am a inbound marketing specialist, which means I like to educate people about sales and marketing, how to improve that alignment between the two, and how to take their digital marketing to the next level.
Awesome. Today's agenda, we'll be talking about sales and marketing today. What is SMarketing? We will define that for you. 5 steps to integrate SMarketing into your organization. We'll do a short recap, and then we'll have a Q&A at the end.
Great. So before we talk about sales and marketing, let's talk about where they came from and how we got to where we are today with this digital platform. So marketing is rooted in advertising. Billboards and direct mail were major marketing tactics for years, and they worked, but no one knows exactly how well, because it's almost impossible to track the impact. Meaning the ability to say for certain how many customers you acquired from one specific billboard or one piece of mail. And sales has traditionally been more of a slimy word, a person who reaches out to you out of the blue, who knows nothing about your needs or what you're interested in, but tries to sell you on a product anyway. So these sales tactics may not lead to experience for that buyer, but sales has always had the ability to track every dollar they generate for their company. But this is marketing today. It's digital, it's trackable, and it works. It's customer-centric, and instead of product-centric. It's also result-centric. So let's dive in a little bit more. Here are a couple examples. Using the inbound marketing strategy, our client Viking Masick saw some incredible improvements. They saw 89% increase in the average growth of qualified leads since producing consistent educational digital content. There's a few other stats on here. The average growth was 15% in monthly website visitors since clarifying and implementing a content strategy.
Yep. And I will just jump in here quickly and say that all of these case studies are available on our website, and we'll put a link into the video once we are done recording this.
So our client Strong Blocks, they're a local niche builder, saw 442% lift in visibility for sought after keywords. So words that their prospects are searching online. They also saw 396% growth in overall leads through their site using an inbound marketing strategy. Because marketing has changed dramatically as technology has improved, marketing now is held accountable for their contributions to revenue, just like sales has always been. So the gap between marketing and sales has closed. And with teams working side by side, it's really critical that they're working well together. We call this SMarketing. But it's important. Can you confidently say you know exactly what is happening with the leads after they kick over to sales? This is a very important question within your organization. So Alicia, why don't you run a little test?
Absolutely. So I have a number of questions I'd like to ask you about your sales and marketing so you can determine whether or not they're working well together. First, do both your marketing and sales teams, and I'm talking about every single member of both teams, know the answers to these important questions? Do both your marketing and sales teams know what types of collateral a high-value lead is consuming? Are they consuming white papers, ebooks, lists, infographics, webinars? Which ones are they consuming, and which ones are getting the best results? What questions on forums are good barometers for your company's leads? Do both sales and marketing teams know the expectations for lead follow-up by sales? What are the top reasons a lead doesn't close? Can both your sales and marketing teams list the top 3 reasons? Chances are high that either your marketing team or your sales team know the answers to these questions, but very rarely are both teams on the same page. So this stat probably comes as no surprise to you. 87% of the terms that sales and marketing use to describe each other are negative. For example, some of the stereotypes used to describe sales include simple-minded, incompetent, or lazy.
I'm glad you've never used those terms with me, Alicia. For marketing, these stereotypes typically include arts and crafts, academic, irrelevant, words like that.
Yeah, that last one, I'm really glad you haven't used that one against me. Sales and marketing cannot be 2 different departments and 2 different entities that don't work together and don't complement each other. They have to work together within their same organization. Sales and marketing have to collaborate. Sales and marketing should both be solving for the customer and be working together to provide value for their company. But we all know how we get bogged down by our day-to-day jobs and don't have time to remember to loop in other teams. That's where SMarketing comes in. SMarketing helps sales and marketing teams work better together and make it part of their normal process. For the remainder of our time, we're going to talk about SMarketing and how we can implement it at our own companies.
So SMarketing, what does that even mean? SMarketing is the process of aligning the sales and marketing teams around common goals within a business or organization. The focus is on improving revenue. So why is it critical to your company's success? Why are we spending the entire webinar talking about this topic? Well, the collaboration of the sales and marketing teams boils down to one thing. No matter which way you slice it, sales and marketing are 2 halves of the same team revenue. So how do you do it? How is this possible? Well, we've broken it down into 5 different steps. The first one is speaking the same language. The first step for sales and marketing, speak the same language, and you want to define your funnel. So working with key marketing and sales stakeholders, make sure to clearly outline each team's role in the funnel. So in this example, you are seeing the first 2 stages are marketing responsibility. The bottom 2 stages are sales responsibilities. And the stages in the middle are shared marketing and sales responsibilities. So now it's time to define the stages and identify what qualifies people for each stage of the funnel and make sure everyone on your sales and marketing team knows the information. So here's an example of Acme Manufacturing. Using lead scoring, we were able to ID each piece of the funnel for Acme Manufacturing. Acme determined that generating quality visitors and converting them into leads is marketing's responsibility. They've laid out what those visitors should look like along with sales input in SLAs, which we're going to get to a little bit more in a minute. From there, we converted a lead From there, we converted lead is considered an MQL or a marketing qualified lead. And then when it hits a certain lead score threshold, at that point, it's going to be handed off between sales and marketing. So marketing is going to pass it off to sales. Once sales talks to that MQL, if they determine that it is in fact a good opportunity and match, it becomes a sales qualified lead. Sales continues to nurture that lead and it becomes an opportunity when a decision is imminent. Finally, the last stage, the opportunity becomes a customer when they purchase. So the end result should look something like this. Everyone at your company should know what qualifies a person to be a prospect or a visitor, to be a lead, an MQL, an SQL, an opportunity, or a customer. This is the foundation for all of the other steps to getting your sales and marketing teams to work together and integrate SMarketing at your company. Only about 25% of leads are legitimate and should advance to sales. So setting up a funnel helps sales and marketing teams identify when to pass leads over to sales. SMarketing provides marketing with the opportunity to assess leads and provide insight into what happens to them after they pass it off to sales, so they can see what's happening and adjust their efforts accordingly.
It's hard to believe given the immense benefit of doing so, but only 68%, but 68% of B2B organizations haven't identified what their funnel looks like. You can't be on the same team if you don't know who the players are and how you can move that needle. Step one needs to be setting up a funnel and making sure everyone within the organization is on the same page in order to have any kind of collaboration. Otherwise, you're setting your organization up for failure. Next, it's time to implement a service level agreement, or an SLA. A sales and marketing SLA defines what each team commits to accomplishing in order to support the other in reaching the shared revenue goal or goals. This type of SLA can work two ways. Marketing commits to delivering a certain quantity and quality of leads to help their sales team hit their quota. And sales commits to following up on those leads in a timely manner and make a specific number of contact attempts before abandoning the lead. Here are some ways you can think about calculating how many leads a sales rep needs to make quota. You can see there are a few different ways to think about it, and it will vary depending on what you consider a quality lead. This helps establish the funnel we talked about earlier. Again, this conversation and exercise should be done as a joint effort between the marketing and the sales team. First, let's take a look at the number of the number of customers needed. It depends on the quota or revenue divided by the average revenue per customer. So you do need to have this data available in order to make this calculation. The second one might be the number of leads that are needed in order to meet that quota. So the customers that you have divided by the average lead to customer close percentage. That will give you the number of leads that are needed in order to reach the number of customers that you want to reach. And it does vary, like I said, by the type of quality of lead that you're trying to go for. An SLA is key because it ensures sales and marketing are both working toward the same goal. Just having a meeting with your sales and marketing team in one room, looking at metrics side by side, is a huge step in the right direction. An SLA helps crystallize the alignment around goals. There's no question, there's no second guessing. Once there's an agreement, both teams can work with passion and purpose to meet and surpass well-defined goals. SLAs pave the way for more pre-call information, and therefore sales reps are more likely to research and get to know their lead before reaching out to them.
All right, so now you've got your funnel, so you're speaking the same language, and you've set your SLAs so you're aligned and working towards the same goal. But now it's time to make sure both teams are staying on track. We call this closed loop reporting, and it ensures that proper feedback loop is set up between the sales and marketing team. Closed loop reporting sets up a way for marketing and sales to talk to one another while having a positive effect on marketing and sales ROI. So yes, all these bullets underneath the benefits, like getting up-to-date contact information and status updates, learning which marketing programs are working and which aren't, increasing your marketing ROI. These are all benefits for sales and marketing and are real and can be measured. They're not just a pie-in-the-sky ideas that sound too good to be true. Some benefits of closed loop reporting are that it allows you to analyze which marketing source are producing the most customers, use conversions to assist to help you understand how each individual piece of content you create contributes to closing customers, provide a timeline of all of the interactions a contact took prior to becoming a marketing qualified lead or customer, and pass information to sales that can help aid them in contacting and engaging with contacts within the first 24 hours, and send automatic updates to your sales team when their lead revisits the website or takes other key actions to make sure to follow up at the best time.
Excellent. So data is the next key to integrating SMarketing at your company. Dashboards are a great way to consume and share data. You can reference and share them at any time with anyone within your company. They can help identify and troubleshoot any issues you may be experiencing. Dashboards also ensure that both teams are looking at the same numbers. Let's go through some examples of potential dashboards it's really helpful to have access to. The first one I want to take a look at is a marketing dashboard that shows the number of leads over the number of days. Marketing can use dashboards to measure and share the process toward SLA goals. Second, tracking leads by source. This allows both marketing and sales to see where their leads are coming from and set goals by source and measure progress for each of the efforts made by marketing.
Alicia, can you go back to source for a minute? Can you just give us a few examples of sources?
Sure. So some of the sources that we're looking at here are organic search. So if your prospect is typing in a certain keyword into, let's say, Google or Bing or Yahoo, something like that, that would be an organic search source. Other ones are referrals, so those coming from other websites, other trusted websites. Those also include email, they might include social media. So there are a number of different sources that are tracked here in this particular dashboard that we're looking at.
Wonderful, thank you.
Mm-hmm. You might be tracking leads by campaign. So marketing typically sets up campaigns when they're trying to reach a certain goal around a specific metric. So one of the goals or one of the campaigns, I should say, that we have going on right now at Jewel is a focus on financial institutions and other B2B companies. So we're going to be tracking our leads by campaign coming in through all of our efforts focused on that campaign. If you analyze the results for each campaign, you can see which efforts successfully drive traffic, leads, and customers. This is a sales by day dashboard, so it allows you to see the pace at which we're meeting goals. You measure progress towards the sales goal and compare against the previous month. The sales activity reports track how many and how deeply leads are worked by the sales team. So if you see that consistently it takes 7 follow-up calls or touch points in order to successfully close the sale, you can measure that and really make sure that all of the sales team is following the same process so that you can really see what's working. In addition to dashboards, it's really helpful to do a monthly SMarketing report. This can be an official document, a PowerPoint deck that's sent over email, or it can take the form of a monthly in-person meeting where sales and marketing both report on their past month's performance. Here at Jewel, we do this on a weekly basis with a deeper dive monthly and quarterly to view longer-term data. This should dig into all of the important metrics. You should evaluate and share why both marketing and sales did or did not hit their targets.
So we talked about the important metrics, and we talked a little bit about source and tracking by campaign. Can you tell us a few other important metrics? Or are you going to dive into that with this SMarketing report?
Yeah, I am. So I'm about to give an example of a SMarketing report that we take a look at. And this tracks everything that we want to take a look at on a monthly basis so that we can see where we're doing really well. Specifically, we want to target some website KPIs, key performance indicators, such as monthly visitors, database size, website new contacts, and specifically conversion ratio. That's the one that's really important, specifically for both sales and marketing, because if that conversion ratio is high but sales isn't closing leads, then we know that there's a problem with that process. If our website visitors are high but the conversion ratio is really low, then we know there's a problem with how the website is set up and how it's working right now. So these KPIs are really good indicators for us. We also track a bunch of things like average budget, number of quotes, closed sales revenue. All of these things are indicators for sales as far as how we're doing from a conversion standpoint. Any other questions on this?
No,
As long as we're on the screen.
Yeah, we're good.
Awesome.
All right, let's talk about that final step then. We want to maintain open communication. So besides sharing your stats in a monthly meeting for your sales and marketing teams, leaders in both your sales and marketing teams should come together for an in-person meeting to get on the same page about team success, product information, persona education, and SLA waterfalls. This is a time where you can look at your shared dashboards and address any concerning trends. This opens up conversation for anything from lead flow and quality to hiring plans for your sales team. Meetings cover major communication on a monthly basis, and this is great, but it doesn't solve any of the day-to-day issues. Marketers should market your company's campaigns to your sales team in emails and easy to digest formats as well. So we have an example up of an email that shares a recent campaign and all of the information sales needs in order to be successful to follow up with leads who are converting on that specific campaign.
Yeah, and this is a really great way to share via email. We also do this through our project management tool that we use, so that everyone's aware of what's going on at any specific time, what we're focusing on, what's coming up. And we just find it really useful for both sales and marketing to hear all at once what's happening.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, whether you're selling a physical product or a service, things are always changing. So it's important to stay in the loop. And because marketing needs to create collateral like web pages, spec sheets, and so on about updates to products and services, they're in the know before sales is. And marketing should take that responsibility to train and arm the sales team with the details of these changes and the positioning for why customers or prospects are going to care about this.
Definitely. So one of the really important pieces of marketing usually is that research part. And sharing that research is really important, especially to draw a direct line between the research, why something was produced, and why the prospect that the sales team is talking to will actually care about it.
Right. So let's review those 5 steps that we help bring successful marketing practices into your organization. You want to speak the same language, implement a service level agreement, set up closed loop reporting, rely on data, and maintain open communication.
One of the most important things to keep in mind when integrating a marketing practice into your company is to rely on data, not emotions. You need to separate reality from perception.
So finger pointing and failure to collaborate will result in a sinking ship. Another takeaway, not too many CMOs have the answer on how to get sales and marketing to work better together. So this is a huge opportunity. Only 30% of CMOs have a clear process or program to make marketing and sales alignment a priority.
It's really not a lot of people.
No.
When sales and marketing teams are in sync, companies become 67% better at closing deals. We are all on the same team. Team revenue provides the best playbook.
Alignment in sales and marketing bring about revenue growth. Alignment of sales and marketing impacts revenue growth up to 3 times. So following these 5 steps will ensure that you're setting up a strong and successful marketing practice within your organization, and that sales and marketing are going to live in productive harmony.
Awesome. I do see that we have a couple of questions that came in through the chat pane. The first one we have, you guys showed a series of dashboards during the data section. What if you don't have a tool to create those? I can go ahead and take that one, Jenna.
Okay.
We do highly recommend that you have a tool that's built into your process in order to measure deliverables from both sales and marketing. We mentioned that we use a project management tool. We also have a content marketing tool called HubSpot, and that's one that we do use on a very regular basis. But chances are you've considered getting one for your sales team if you haven't already, because a lot of times that team in particular is focused on deliverables. But what better way to start collaboration than to get a tool that helps both teams to be successful in measuring goals? If you aren't planning on getting a tool to measure sales and marketing success, then you should at least establish a non-emotional, high-level view at metrics related to sales and to marketing. I do recommend you would measure things like website views, website conversions on specific pieces, number of qualified leads from those conversions, and number of closed won and closed lost sales. So that way you're focusing on the entire closed loop process. If you are looking for recommendations on how to get started measuring both sales and marketing goals, let us know after this presentation. We're happy to talk through some options with you and why they might be a good fit for you. Did we have any other questions come through?
Looks like we have one more. I can take this one.
Sure.
Why haven't more people adopted sales and marketing collaboration if it's so awesome? It's a great question. The biggest reason is that it's really hard. Like any large change that you're making, especially with if your company is not agile, it takes time and a lot of commitment, focus, and some give up before really seeing the benefits. However, if you push through those short-term pain, it makes your sales and marketing team stronger in the long term.
That's a great answer. We do have one more question. How do you get past the "that's what we've always done" objective to SMarketing? And that's super related to what Jenna was just talking about. It's so awesome. Why haven't people done it? Because that's what they've always done. People are really used to being stuck in a rut, and they're used to doing what they've always done because they think it's working fine. But if you really want your business to be stuck at fine, don't change. However, we're really pushing for great and excellent, and that's when marketing really should become a priority for you. That's marketing, not marketing.
Yep, absolutely. And again, if anybody wants to talk through their specific business, and maybe you have some questions on why it's, you don't think it'll work in your industry. That's something I hear all the time. I have a lot of points that could show you otherwise, and might be able to open your eyes to other avenues to get into for digital marketing.
Very cool. I don't see any other questions at this time, so we're happy to stay on afterwards if anybody has any specific questions. Otherwise, thanks so much for joining us today, and I hope you have a really great day.